Alright, about to go meet up with the boys. We're gonna go head out to Island Boy Tuning car meet barbecue thing that a local shop is gonna have. So I'm gonna go meet up with Peep and Irwin over at Eurotech. I'm gonna give the cars a quick wash, give them a once over, and then head down the street to the barbecue, check it out for a little bit. Then I gotta go out to dinner, and then next thing I should be uploading is getting the subframe with all the new bushings and arms, all that stuff on it. Gonna get it welded, throw it in with the Mark III LSD, and that should be this episode. Looking forward to that. Sitting here waiting for these pendecos to show. Oh, who's? Hey, there he is on the wrong side of the car. It's clean. This guy's on the wrong side of the car too. It's a project. It's actually my first time using a foam gun on the car. Getting ready for the car meet. Peep is super sitting in the back. He said he washed it like 4 months ago. Hasn't washed it since because it's been in the garage. So I'll have to sit for a little bit, hose it off, dry it off. We'll do his Altezza next. Or is it Altezza? I forget what it is. It's a GS300. Right hand drive. And then we'll get going.
I love Julius Week.
What? Yeah. I like the Sentra. GS's. I like this 240. I want one of those. I'm sure it's dark, I'm sure it's hard to see. So I went and met up with my friend Maul, and I got the subframe off his Cressida that he's parting out. Has all the upgraded arms on it that I wanted, that are worn out on my car right now. So I bought this whole subframe assembly off of them with the arms on it. Only thing left I have to do is I have to drop off the subframe at the machine shop. And this is the front mount for the LSD. Since I'm putting the Mark III LSD in it, I'm putting the excessive LSD mount in, the diff mount, so I need to have that welded on. I also found a little crack right here on the subframe. See right there, so I'm gonna have the my fabricator go over the whole thing and weld anything he finds. But first thing I want to do is I want to pull this out of the trunk. Actually, I'm lucky it fit in the trunk. That was pretty cool. But I'm gonna pull it out, give it a good scrub down, so I'm not giving it to my fab guy all dirty, and I'm installing the car, so why not clean it? So let me pull it out, give it a good scrub down. And I do have a new box sitting over there. That should be what I've been waiting for from Excessive. It should be the LSD mount and upgraded subframe bushings that I'm going to change out before I install it too. So let's scrub this down. Now here's a better view of the subframe out of the car. Get all the arms upgraded. The only thing I don't like about it, it has the pillow ball mounts all over. I wish they were the poly mounts, but it is what it is. I'll use them until they wear out, then I'll change them to the poly. And besides that, that's it. Let's do a scrub. Got it all scrubbed down. It's like 75% there, and I had black stuff all down my driveway. I had to hose it all the way down. So I'll dry it off now with a towel, throw it back in the trunk, make sure I have what I need for my Excessive box, and be good to drop it off tomorrow morning. Got the subframe all cleaned up, back in the trunk where it belongs until I take it to the fab shop. So I wasn't going to take the LSD with me, but I don't think I'm going to have to take it. So I got this 373 LSD out of a Mark III. All I have to do is change the rear housing for the Cressida one. And I also have my weir upgrade shim kit with the shims and the spring. Give it a better lockup, just what we need. But also got this box from Excessive. Hopefully it has my diff mount in it. It should. I don't see why it wouldn't. So we got instructions and bushings. Oh right, I got subframe bushings. That's what all this plastic is. Amazing how expensive it is for some plastic. Power steering line. Needed that. Need to get that hooked up. Gonna get AC done. And probably right here. This is the piece I'm looking for. I can open it one-handed. Holy hell, this thing's huge. I didn't realize it was such a big piece. So this gets welded onto the subframe so the Mark III can bolt onto it. And it makes it so you bolt the LSD in from the bottom, not from the top, the way the factory does it. So, see right here is where a factory diff mounts right there. It looks like they used to have some other mount or they ghetto rigged it or something. But you put this mount on there like that, weld it on, bolt down the diff, bolt it into the rear. I have the upgraded bushings for the rear for that, and then that'll take care of my rear end problem. So upgrade the LSD, shim kit, mount on the subframe, install subframe with all the upgraded arms. That should tighten up the rear ends 1000%. So let's go drop it off at the fab shop. Made it out here to Hutch's Welding, here in West Palm. I'm back there working. We're gonna throw the car on the lift, get some measurements so we can get this diff welded in the right spot. Alright, so we put this thing on the lift. We measured the stock MX83 rear housing with the bushings, with the new diff, and Harvey's actually gonna knock it out right now since I'm here. So he's gonna weld that up for me and I'll be able to throw it back in the back of the car, get back home, and schedule some time with Erwin so we can install it. So he's back there behind that red, in his little red room, working his magic, and I'll be good to go. So just waiting on him, and we'll knock this out. All right, first thing we're doing is mocking it up. Mocking it up, taking some measurements, because you want to see how far forward or back you need to mount it, so the rear matches up. We're taking measurements of the stock one that's going to bolt up to the Mark III LSD. So that's where the measurements are coming in. Oh, almost there.
Perfect.
Bam, took care of that, measured up, centered up. We also welded a couple other cracks we found on the subframe on that side, and then also, I think it was on the opposite side that we found it. Nope, it's on the same side, top and bottom. Both need to be welded, and then also on this other side, you can see right along there. So, this is looking ready to go. Made it back to the garage, got the subframe in the back of the trunk. It's ready to go. Next thing I need to do before I go to Erwin's is I need to set up the LSD. I'm a little nervous about doing it, something I've never messed with, but it's kind of the whole point of doing this, right? Learning how to take it apart, put it back together, doing a little bit more in-depth than, the normal stuff. So that's something I'm gonna do. We also need to put in the new upgraded subframe bushings into the subframe before we go to Erwin's. I got those right here, these big beefy hockey puck things. Yeah, those things are hard. And yep, all these for the subframe. But I also got something else in the mail. I think Christmas came early. Let me open it up real quick. This is the package I've been waiting on from Australia. Boom. Rings. What are they for? They're centering rings for the, whatchamacallit, the rotors. The 350Z track rotors onto the Cressida. So, let's see. Yep, 60.1 to a 68.1. So the 60.1 is the stock Cressida inner diameter, then the outer diameter. Added it over there, having a stroke. It's actually said 68. These came at 68.1. We'll see how they fit. If anything, just need a slight trimming. I hope not, but that's something else I need to do. I need to finish. I need to paint these calipers before I go to whatchamacallit, Irwin's. So hopefully I can do the brakes and the subframe, do all that at once. So it's kind of the goal. So we gotta paint these, shim the LSD, and put the new subframe bushings into the subframe. So got a work cut out for us tomorrow. You know what's kind of a smart idea? I'm gonna read the directions before I start doing anything. So Excessive actually sends up a pretty good instructions list, something I'm gonna try to follow. So let me read what I got here, come up with the game plan, let's knock it out. Phew, well, that was easy. So basically, I'll show you on this side, stock side. So this nut holds this little retainer and it keeps this bushing down in place. So all you do is remove the bolt, the retainer, and there's kind of like a hard lip around the outside of this bushing. So what I did was I got a little pry bar, went under here, started prying up, and it came right out. It was actually really easy. So thankful for that. On my Jetta I had to burn them out on the control arms and all that stuff. This one I didn't. So that makes that a lot easier. So what I'll do is I'll go along the rest. I'll clean inside here, make it smooth so the new ones go in nice. Maybe I'll put a little grease on them. I'm not sure about the front ones. I'm gonna have to see how the front ones go in. See if they're pressed or what. So I'll mess with those right now. Got tired of working on the subframe in the back of the car. So I said, I'll pull it out, give myself some room to work. Alright, so I got the, what would that be? The rear? I'm trying to figure out how I'm looking at this in the car. Yeah, so this is the rear, that's the front, and it's upside down right now. Why are we not focusing here? Alright, so I got this rear one out. Got that right here. And I'll show you how I did it over here. So if we look at this bushing, you can see you have the rubber all down here that has a metal plate. It goes metal down through it. That's where the bolt goes. So when I first started trying to pry this up, I was like, do I pull up from here? But no, what you gotta do is you gotta get under the rubber. Oh, it's not focusing. Hold on. Let's see if that's any better. A little bit. Alright, so what you need to do is you need to get under the rubber in one place. Just pry it up a little bit. Just kind of work your way around it. It's kind of hard to smooth it on me because I'm doing it with one hand. Where you get underneath and just work your way around. That way you break loose the seal on the outside of it since it's been there for, I don't know, 30 years. Keep going around and you'll see, you'll start getting the lip all the way around it. You can start prying it up more and more. And then I ended up using a bigger pry bar. Then I put them together and I was able to pop it out. Booyah! Got them all out. Pretty simple. Now I sprayed some degreaser in there, let it sit for a little bit. Gonna clean it out. That way the new ones can slide in smooth. Like I said, maybe I'll put some grease on them. I'm not sure if they'll be squeaky or not. I mean, the grease can't hurt. So I'll let that sit, dry it up, and we'll see how easy the new ones push in. So the new bushings go in like nothing. They slide right in and it's pretty nice because even they're molded in where it says where they go. Front, lower. So check this out. Let's see how this, I haven't test fit this one yet. I'm just gonna go for it. So gotta keep the subframe from moving. All by hand. Got that flush. And then there's a lower one. Goes in the bottom. Let's see if we boom. Flush, flush. That's it. Now I'll put in the other four and I'll be done with the bushings. That'll be it. Paint's all dried up. I got it on there, primer, then some little bit of flat black. Set. Now we're gonna get going to Irwin's and I need to make sure I got everything I need. So we got subframe with all the new bushings in it. Got the diff. Got the rebuild kit for the diff, the upgrade kit, the weir kit. Got the upgraded diff bushings and upgraded other mounts for the subframe going on. So that should cover everything in the rear end. Then for the brakes, let's see. I got calipers, brake lines, centering rings for the rotors, new centering rings for the rear wheels that I didn't have on before, lug nuts, open-ended. Got got that. Got rotors, 2 rotors. Let's see, 1 rebuilt kit, 1 hardware kit for a caliper. Or it's, oh, this hardware kit is for both calipers. All right, got that. We have a mount kit for the calipers. Got that, and then we have brake pads. I think that's everything I need. Got GoPro, can do some install action. Should be it. Should be good to go. So let's go to Irwin's. All right, so what happened was we got to Irwin's shop and we went to go start pulling off the diff. We're gonna start working on it. And then I realized we don't have a dial indicator to set the backlash for the LSD with the upgrades we're gonna do in. So me and the sidekick had to run to Harbor Freight and go buy a dial indicator at 7:40 at night, 20 minutes before they close. So we got that, running back to Irwin's right now, and then hopefully white now, yeah, white now, and then hopefully we can put it back together and get this going. So let's see what happens. Something else I want to point out, shout out to the homie. I needed to go buy the dial indicator, and Irwin and Peter put the car on the lift. They started taking off the rear end, and Peter just gave me the keys to his car to go grab, I'm driving too far over, to go grab the dial indicator. Peter just handed me the keys to his right-hand drive Aristo right here that I'm driving. It's pretty cool. What do you think about driving on this side of the car?
Feels weird.
Feels weird? Yeah, I think so too. All right, so the biggest thing, I'm sure anybody's driven a right-hand drive car, the biggest thing that I keep doing is I keep trying to do the turn signal with the left hand, and obviously the left one is for the wipers and the right one is for the turn signal. So I need to start driving my right hand instead of my left hand. After you. Let's see where we at. Oh boy. Oh. Oh. Oh, I can already smell it. Oh, there. What's that? I can smell it when I walked in. Thanks for the ride, homie. The ride's pretty sweet. I like it. I'll give you the keys back. I didn't misuse the turn signal.
Oh,
Yeah, I got it right. I got it right.
Well, this time it was different because it was raining, so you know, it fancies.
Yeah, I had time to think about it.
Either way, if he would have messed up, he's like, oh, okay.
All right, we gotta sell up this LSD.
To learn, right?
Yeah. So all right. So struggle number 1 was we didn't know how to take out the differential. Well, we got the diff out. We couldn't get the diff out of the housing. We just need a certain angle on the pry bar. Yes. So just figure out different angles to get leverage on the LSD or on the differential, and you'll be able to pry it out. Nah, we might need some more. It's tight in there. You have to put it in with a hammer, so you got to take it out with a pry bar.
Literally, like you gotta fucking hammer that bitch in?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
I don't want to damage anything that.
Taking the diff apart so we can get to clutch plates. It wasn't the AC. It wasn't the AC.
But that's like, yeah. Like, what the hell?
Alright, so we were gonna get started on the rear end. We're gonna take out the old subframe, but I think we're gonna wait till we finish the LSD to pull it out. Someone's watching me. We're gonna wait till we finish the LSD to pull out the old subframe, because in case something happens, we mess up or we're missing a piece. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get started on the brakes in the meantime. So we're doing 350Z track rotors with the 300ZX calipers, and I should have everything in the back seat. We'll find out. And we'll get started on it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right, first update on the brake swap. The calipers I had didn't have any bleeders, so we had to run to the auto parts store, grab some universal bleeders, put those in. Got done. Now we should have everything we need. Now what we're gonna do is unbolt the stock assembly, get rid of the caliper, get rid of the rotor, get rid of this stock line. We don't need those, and we'll start bolting in the new stuff, see how it fits. All right, so after we got these bleeder screws, we bolted in our upgrade kit for 300ZX to 350Z track rotors. Got these. I had to put the centering rings for rotor onto the crest of the hub, and then I had to cut them down because they were sticking out so much that I wasn't able to get the wheel spacer on to center it. This isn't all the way. Here we go. So I needed some room on here to be able to get the wheel centered on here. So I got that done. Now what I need to do is I need to make a spacer to space this further towards the rotor so it's centered on here, so we got a better bite on it. So I'm trying to make spacers right now. Doing that while Erwin is working on the LSD. Alright, we got one-sided brakes set up. So you got that spinning freely. 300ZX rotor bolted up. So we ended up doing for the spacer, to space out the caliper bracket, we ended up using a bolt that was 11.6 millimeters thick, which is pretty much what all the websites say is what you need to measure it out. So I did that, but after I did that, I had trouble with the caliper hitting the rotor. You can see right here, it was gouging up right there. So I actually had to grind down some of the caliper on the outside right here, top and bottom, to get some clearance. And now it spins freely. Got that done. Now I gotta go work on the passenger side. That'd be it for the brakes. Erwin's knocking out the LSD, shimming it. So by the time he's done with that, I should be done with the passenger side and we'll get started on the subframe. All right, update. I'm getting my ass kicked by these damn brakes. But these guys are kicking ass on the rear subframe. New subframe, putting it together over there. These guys are swapping out a whole subframe before I can upgrade my brakes. Oh man, you can hear the enthusiasm in my voice has faded away. So I gotta figure out what's going on with these. They're just dragging really bad. So I can't even turn it right now. So I'm over here still getting my ass kicked by brakes. So you can brake from the passenger, going to driver's side. And these guys are kicking ass on this damn subframe. And then these guys knocked out the subframe. We got it bolted in. I just bolted the drive shaft in. Let's see. You can see new arms. Got the plate in the back to reinforce the diff. Mark III diff with the weir kit in it. And a couple other things on it. So now we're gonna hook up the suspension, tighten everything down, and start bunning it up. And this poor girl is sleeping. My assistant is sleeping in the office because it's 5 in the morning. She was not expecting this. Gonna have to make up for it. Alright, so we ended up finishing up the car like at 6:30 in the morning, buttoned it all up, rolled it out of the shop, went up and down the street. Didn't have any issues, didn't have any clunking, any weird noise. So then Lexi and I jumped in the car and just hauled butt back home, exhausted. I was delusional. I'm not even sure how I made it home. But it's been raining all day ever since, and I haven't had a chance to take the car out, see how it feels, and see the difference in grip. So it's something I'm just gonna have to wait till it dries up finally here in Florida and see how it goes. The brakes definitely feel better, and I definitely noticed a difference in gearing RPM on the highway, but I need to readjust my speed settings on the AM Infinity, how it picks up the speed, because I know it's off now because I went from I think a 390 to a 373. I'll have to double check that, and we'll see. That'll be my next thing. I need to do my own review of the car and see how it's running with the new clutch, the new rear end, the new brakes, and basically a new turbo setup. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Filming.
What is it, John?
YouTube, comment, like this video if you like it. Watch some more if you don't like it. Horrible. Horrible.